Welcome to Care Talk, your healthy home for incisive debate about healthcare business and policy. I'm David Williams, president of Health Business Group.
And I'm John Driscoll, the CEO of CareCentrix. So David, vaccine. Are we going to get a vaccine fast to end the pandemic?
John, I think it's game over for the virus. With or Operation Warp Speed going, it's going to nail it before the election. Dr. Fauci's feeling optimistic. There's a bunch of vaccines showing good early results. Money being allocated. We can leverage our infrastructure. There's huge demand. John, it's basically game over for COVID.
Beam me up, Scotty. I mean, this is about as likely as the Transformer. I mean, come on. You're taking the fantasy speed from Star Trek and applying it to the greatest global health crisis we've ever seen. I mean, give me a break. The fastest time we've ever created a vaccine is 4 years, and it was the mumps vaccine. We've been trying. There's been a global cross-national effort to create an AIDS vaccine. Zero success. SARS and MERS, very little success. Coronaviruses are complicated. It's the common flu, kills hundreds of thousands of people a year. No vaccine. This is going to be hard. It's going to be long. It is high risk. It's a classic over-promotion by people in pharma and government whose jobs and futures depend on the promise of quick success, regardless of whether it comes. We need to lean back into real public health, real therapeutics, real contact and tracing. We need to contain this virus with the tools we've got. It's fantasy land to assume we're going to get a vaccine quickly. If it happens by an act of God, wonderful. But by you promoting that, David, you're suggesting that people should lean into that as opposed to wear a mask and be responsible right now.
John, I know we're just doing this on audio, but I feel I can still see you waving the big white flag of surrender to the virus. So I'm glad you're not in charge of it here.
I'm on attack.
All right.
I think you got to attack it as a public health issue, not with a fantasy that is about as compelling as that cartoon character who you said, I will pay you for your hamburger Thursday. I mean, like it's not, it may happen tomorrow, but if you depend on that, you need to do today to fight this virus.
All right, John, I don't know what TV channels you've got, but just suspend disbelief for a minute, okay? Just for a minute. And once the vaccine, or if it comes out, do you think people will actually get vaccinated if it's available? And will you be one of them?
If your friend Dr. Fauci says it's the right thing to do because it's safe, I'll believe him. I think that there is a skepticism that is terrifying, ginned up by the anti-vaxxers who kind of mix the tools of P.T. Barnum with Fantasyland, and they undermine public health and the basic science and medicine that we know we can rely on with many, many safe vaccines, to the point where we've actually got measles epidemics all around the country. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, John, you're pretty aggressive here, I'd say, because you're definitely going to take a vaccine that isn't going to exist, and all these other people will too. So I support that. But I have to say, John, if mask wearing is political, imagine getting people to take the vaccine. It's going to be even more so. Never mind the fact that we might really have the public health infrastructure to do it, and a lot of the people that really need the vaccine are people who lack access or are suspicious, minorities, essential workers, and so on. And although, of course, I will take the vaccine and have my family do so if it's safe and effective. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm gonna take it because you don't even think it's going to be there, but it probably won't even hurt if it doesn't exist. But John, but the thing is, I mean, the problem is, while I'm totally in favor of vaccines and what we have out there is very safe and effective, all the vaccines, I'm concerned about something that's developed so fast. Sometimes the first vaccine that comes out isn't the best. You can see it even with polio, with the Salk and the Sabin vaccine. So I might not be the first one in line to take it.
Picky. Just don't make sure you're not leaning into those anti-vaxxers.
John, we seem to be, I don't know, I'm going to say we could be disagreeing. I think you're just being disagreeable today. So I want to give you a question that I know we're going to agree on, and so we'll be good.
Finally.
Okay, so here's the thing, John. Let's talk about pricing of the vaccine. Now, last week, you're blaming the pharma industry for high pricing and all that. This week, you owe them an apology. No, John. Pfizer's Pfizer's offering this vaccine for $20 a dose, the same as the flu shot. They are good guys, and you should go. And you should go, and you should apologize with your mask on because they're so reasonable.
Well, let's.
What are you laughing at?
The Fox News used to be pro mask wearing when the CDC was mask wearing. Laura Ingraham actually used to fight for the masks, and then when the government came out in favor of masks, Fox News went against the masks. So, I think on pharma, you make a fair point, painful though it is for me to admit that parts of pharma, Merck, J&J, Pfizer, are talking about pricing at or below where costs are, and I think that's fair. This is a public good; it's necessary. But don't don't just focus on the good guys. There's folks like Moderna, where they're sharpening their pencils so they can overcharge, and they're saying they're going to charge whatever the market will bear for something that's killing people. I mean, it's appalling. They are funded, the government and taxpayers pay for the basic research. We then subsidize the companies. We give them patents that they seem to extend at will, and then we allow them to price at will. It's obnoxious, and it's got to stop. And I think we should be celebrating pharma where they see the need and the service and public good, and we should be really going after those pharma pirates who plan to leverage our own science against us and overcharge people who are already paying too much for drugs.
Well, John, I guess it's sort of good work if you can get it. I'm going to go a little bit against my my previous point and say that Pfizer, they're going to have this vaccine for $20 a dose if it exists, but I think it's kind of a smokescreen, and they're using it as an excuse or just a way to shield themselves from scrutiny over the high prices they're charging and the big price increases they have for all their other drugs. So they look good. They could say, hey, we gave this vaccine out for next to nothing. And by the way, don't look over behind this door and see what we're doing over here. So I'm even a little more cynical than even you, John, hard as that is to believe. So, John, last week we were talking about remdesivir. I love saying remdesivir because it sounds so good. But the problem was you thought it was too expensive, even though it's a lifesaver. Now, with the vaccine in place, if and when, what's going to happen to the remdesivir price? Is it going to become more reasonable?
No, remember, remdesivir was a drug that was designed for a broad category of illness. And I think that it's reasonable to believe that we're going to have more coronaviruses. And even if we had the warp vaccine of your imagination, it'll take years for us to actually develop herd immunity, which again you could get either by getting sick potentially or having a successful vaccination of the 60 to 80% of the population. When you've got many, many billions of people to vaccinate, that's probably 6 billion doses. I mean, assuming it's only one dose. I mean, that we've never seen that kind of a vaccination effort globally. So there'll be plenty of work short term for the therapeutic drug remdesivir to take care of people who get sick. And I think there's a real risk as we as a society continue to break down the barriers of ourselves and the natural world. The species jumping viruses like corona, MERS, SARS are going to be more and more of an issue, and great therapeutics like remdesivir will have a role, maybe a slightly different one going into the future. So we should still not have to pay $3,000 for something that costs $30 to manufacture.
Well, John, I don't think
that drug's going out of business anytime soon.
Well, John, I'm glad the drug is going to be there for when we need it for SARS-21 or whatever it is, because I am looking forward to taking you to my favorite wild animal in endangered species market and have them select a nice specimen for slaughter for our plates.
I'm going plant-based. You can go on your own, and we'll put you in quarantine.
I'll have to find another dinner date. Well, John, I think we basically run out of important things to say if we had any to begin with. So let's end it here. This is it, John. This is it for our latest edition of Care Talk. I'm David Williams, president of Health Business Group.
And I'm John Driscoll, the CEO of CareCentrix. Thanks for listening.
Hey there, listeners. Want more Care Talk? There's more to be had in our other episodes, so be sure to look for those and subscribe to Care Talk on your favorite service.